So you want to know what it's like being a U.S. Navy sailor? Let me paint you a picture the recruitment poster conveniently left out. Congratulations. You just signed away 4 years of your life for the privilege of living in a floating metal tube with a few thousand people you've never met. Don't worry, though. You'll get to know them. Very, very closely. Your recruiter told you you'd see the world. What he actually meant was you'll see the same 40 square miles of gray ocean for 6 months straight, interrupted by 12 hours in a port just long enough to buy a t-shirt you'll never wear again. Your living quarters. Imagine the world's smallest college dorm. Now shrink it. Stack it 3 bunks high. Remove every trace of privacy. Add the constant smell of feet, industrial cleaner, and something you'd rather not identify. Welcome home. That's your rack. Navy speak for bed because apparently regular words weren't confusing enough. It's roughly coffin-sized, which feels a little on the nose. Your personal storage space is 1 locker, about the size of a microwave. Hope you weren't planning on bringing anything you actually own. Your day starts at 0500. That's 5 a.m. to the rest of us. You'll wake up to your alarm, then your rackmate's alarm, then the guy across the room's alarm. A symphony of beeping specifically engineered to ruin your soul 1 snooze button at a time. Then it's off to the bathroom, the head, to shower, shave, and brush your teeth alongside 80 other people in a space built for maybe 20. Nothing wakes you up quite like waiting in line to pee while the guy next to you deals with last night's dinner. Breakfast awaits, powdered eggs and mystery meat of unknown origin. Beef? Pork? The guy who failed his drug test last month? Nobody really knows, and at this point, nobody really wants to. Now, your actual job. Maybe you're an engineer, spending 12-hour shifts in a room that hits a cozy 110 degrees. Maybe you're on the flight deck, where the daily risk includes getting blown overboard or sucked into a jet intake. Or maybe you've landed the prestigious role of chipping paint off the same 3 feet of hull, over and over, forever. Chip, paint, repeat. Chip, paint, repeat. It's meditative if meditation was designed to make you question every decision that got you here. Every so often you'll do joint training exercises with allied navies, which is really just an elaborate play date where different countries show off their biggest, shiniest boats. Definitely not an excuse for admirals to compare who is the bigger vessel. Definitely. Then there's deployment. 6 to 9 months away from your family, your friends, and any concept of a normal calendar. Time zones stop mattering. Your family's asleep when you're awake, celebrating birthdays while you're mopping a hallway. Weddings, births, funerals, you've got watch duty. Want to call home? Get in line for 3 hours for the 1 working phone, then enjoy a 2-second delay in audio quality that sounds like 2 cans on a string. Email works exactly when you don't need it, and never when you do. Your social circle now consists entirely of people just as sleep-deprived and irritable as you. It's basically a floating experiment in what humans do under stress and fluorescent lighting. The upside? You'll form friendships stronger than the ship's hull itself, usually forged by holding someone's hair back during a rough patch of seas or helping them draft an apology letter after an eventful night on shore leave. You'll also learn the Navy has its own language, built specifically to confuse anyone new. Floors are decks, walls are bulkheads, left is port, right is starboard, and everything gets crammed into acronyms nobody outside the ship could ever decode. Translated, most of them just mean someone important wants dinner. Sleep, by the way, is a luxury item, not a right. Your bunk might be comfortable if you're under 5 feet 6 inches and don't move in your sleep. Top rack? Congratulations, you're now required to perform Olympic-level gymnastics just to lie down. And don't forget hot racking, sharing a bed with someone on the opposite shift, so you get to slide into sheets still warm from a total stranger. Bored? There's plenty to do. Walk laps around the ship, stare at the ocean, or partake in the Navy's true national pastime, complaining. Movie night is a big event, mostly because you'll watch the same 5 DVDs on repeat until you could perform them from memory. The food deserves its own mention. Navy cooks work miracles with limited ingredients, and unfortunately, some of those miracles resemble biblical plagues. Is that meatloaf? Or did something go wrong in engineering? Still, you'll develop a strange fondness for things like so you hasa el sal, midnight rations, and something called SOS. Look it up if you dare. Eventually, you'll pull into a foreign port with about 12 hours to experience an entire country, visit a historic landmark, try the food, buy a souvenir, maybe get a tattoo you'll regret, all before curfew. Meanwhile, half your shipmates will decide the best use of that time is finding the nearest bar and forgetting what country they're even in. Weather at sea comes in exactly two flavors: painfully boring or actively trying to kill you. Ever tried brushing your teeth while the ship pitches 30 degrees in a storm? It's basically an extreme sport. And then there's seasickness, nature's great equalizer, humbling even the toughest sailors while their shipmates offer unhelpful advice, like, just look at the horizon. There is no horizon. You're inside a steel box in the middle of the ocean. Just when you think you've found a rhythm, it's inspection time, when someone with more stripes on their sleeve shows up to judge how clean things already were. Want to move up in rank? Simply memorize a few hundred pages of manuals, complete a stack of qualifications, and hope your haircut passes muster. And yet, despite the exhaustion, the food, the endless cleaning, there's a strange pride that comes with all of it, something close to Stockholm Syndrome, if Stockholm Syndrome came with a paycheck. You'll catch yourself defending the whole experience to civilians. Yeah, it sucks, but it's our suck. Years later, long after you've finished your service, you'll look back and think, those were some of the best, worst years of your life. So there it is. Life as a U.S. Navy sailor, endless water, endless hours, and stories nobody who hasn't lived it will ever fully believe. Fair winds and following seas, you beautifully deluded souls who signed on the dotted line. May your paint never chip, your rack always be empty when you need it, and your shore leave never make international news.